What exactly is an IPO and how do companies like JP Morgan Chase play a crucial role in that? An IPO stands for an initial public offering. This is when the company for the first time is listed on exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange and the Nasdaq and transitions from a private company to a public company. When it's a private company, only institutional traders like big investment firms and private equity firms can buy a stake in the company. While when it's publicly traded, retail traders like you and I can buy shares of the company on platforms like Robinhood, Webull, Thinkorswim, and so many more. So why exactly does a company even need to go public when it can just stay private? The main reason companies do this is to raise funds and capital for expansion plans. For example, if it needs more money to build a product and it wants to raise funds from outside investors and the public, the company registers itself for an IPO. So what role do big investment banks like JP Morgan Chase and Morgan Stanley play in this? First, after the company wants to launch an IPO, it'll go to investment banks like JP Morgan Chase to have a consultation with them. Investment banks like JP Morgan Chase act as the underwriters. They help the company establish a set of guidelines. How many shares do they want to list on the secondary markets and how much money do they want to raise? Then what JP Morgan Chase does is for a fixed cost, it buys all these shares that the company is willing to sell and then it's going to be reselling them on the secondary markets. So JP Morgan Chase essentially profits from these commissions from how much it bought all these shares for from the company and how much it resells them onto the secondary markets for, and this is called a spread. An example of a company that recently had its IPO is Figma. So when Figma first wanted to have an IPO, they would have went and consulted with the investment bank. The investment bank would have offered them an X amount of money based on how much they want to raise and how many shares they want to sell on the open markets. And then JP Morgan Chase would buy all these shares and then resell them onto the exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange and the Nasdaq. And now the company is officially public and you and I can go and buy these shares.